How's it going, everybody? Bebop here, and I am with one of my longtime rave friends, Drewbacca, Andrew, who is also been a Ready VIP in the past.
Yep.
Good to have you back.
Dude, always loving being back here, man.
It's so exciting to talk to you, man, because it feels like coming full circle. When we interviewed you on Ready VIP the first time, we were really just getting to know each other, and I was like finding out that you were a ranger and that you would go to the crowds and help people, and that you're also a Flowmie and stuff. But then we got to know each other personally. We got to hang out. We've been to a bunch of festivals together, but this one was special.
Once I saw that lineup, I'm like, sorry, boss, I gotta be there.
Yeah,
I gotta be progressed. Yeah, I'm sorry. I have to be selfish for a little bit.
You had an experience beforehand, like you were like pre-Decadence. You were at work, right? And you got some like visitors at work. You want to tell us about that?
Oh yeah, those visitors. So my boss comes up to me and says, Drew, don't lose your shit because Sullivan King's here. And I'm like, really? I'm like, no way. And then she's like, yeah. I'm like, well, where is he? She says, behind you. I turn around and the face I made, I went, there was a lot of emotions going on at that point. I'm like, oh my god, 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 oh my god. What do I say? What I got? How do I look? Stuff like that. But after a while, I was walking. I walked away, and literally, all the people that knew me at work, they're like, Andrew, don't lose your mind. We know who's here. I'm like, I know. I went outside, did my little jump, and just throw my arms around like I'm in a mosh pit just out of excitement. I'm like, okay, I got it all out. Let's go. So I went over there, and immediately I knew what table he was at. And the first day I saw a ticket that was for his table, and I immediately grabbed the plate. And the guy, my boss, looked at me. He's like, "You want to run that?" I'm like, "Oh yeah."
Oh yeah. You work at a high-end sushi restaurant.
Yeah,
right?
A place called Uchi in Scottsdale.
Love that. Yeah. And so you scoop up the plate, and you're like, "I'm hand delivering this.
I got this. Like, don't freak out." But no, I brought it to them, and I explained to them what the dish was, and just immediately I just said, "Hey, just a little heads up. I'm just very excited to see you," and realizing that Wachi was with him as well.
Who's your date? Oh, lovely Wachi.
I know. I was like, oh my god, crikey, he's right here. What do I do? I'm just like, look, I'm just very excited to see you guys tomorrow. And they both smiled, and we just kind of talked a little bit. And Sullivan was like, well, what song do you want to hear? I'm like, give me a minute and let me think about that, because there's like a lot. There was like, Reckless of Wachi or Sullivan King, Wachi. The new song they just released, Bone Breaker and stuff like that, and the Bungalator bass, which I've really been into. And so I thought about it, went back up to them, and I was like, hey, can you play Chop Suey by System of a Down? They chuckled, and I chuckled a little bit. I'm like, no. Honestly, it's really hard to say. Like, Bone Breaker is on repeat, and also Bungalator bass. And and then we just started talking about video games. Because I looked at Wachi, I'm like, so you're a raider? And we just kind of vibed off that, and he was like, oh yeah, it's just really hard to find friends to like play the game with. And I'm like, here's my gamer tag if you need somebody. Just a heads up. No, but and then like Sullivan started talking about Tarkov, which is like a good in that game. But anyways, I can talk about that game for hours, but that's what we're here for. But so I talked to him for a little bit. Really nice guys. Got a picture with them at the end. And then, day one of Decadence, we were all just in there having a good time. And I felt like I had an obligation to be at the Wachi Sullivan King back to back. I felt like I had to be there.
Asked you what you wanted to see. See if they played it.
Yeah, and then before they went on, they played Chop Suey, and I lost my mind.
You want to I don't think you trust in my self-righteous suicide.
I don't know if that's like a very normal song for him to play. I don't know, but I think it just felt really special.
Absolutely.
And then, you know, they played Bonebreaker and Bungulator bass.
Was there anything, like, if you were going to hop in a time machine and give yourself a piece of advice to go into Decadence 25, you would have been like, hey, bro, don't forget the extra pair of socks or whatever.
Yeah. I would have probably told myself to make more candy.
That's real. That is so real, man.
Yeah. Because I definitely felt like I didn't like prep as much as I used to.
And you do. You've made some insane perlers and candy.
Yeah, no, definitely. That's where I've kind of noticed, and it happened after 7 Stars, and I think it's just because like I was just grinding out candies and perlers for that festival. And then just like the last couple shows I've been to, granted some of them were like last minute or the day of, but like say for Decadence, I did a little bit, but not as much as I used to do. And I think that's definitely something I would like to do for New Year's, for like a New Year's resolution, is to be trying to maybe invest a little bit more in candy making, because I do enjoy it, because it's like whenever you get your outfit for the festival or whatever, it's like a nice little reminder that something is coming.
I like candy parties. One of the things that, like, you know, the culture of trading is fun. I love that it brings people together. I love our little PLUR handshake, you know, peace, love, unity, respect. I'm basically Sailor Moon. I have to say it every time or I won't transform. But we have regular candy parties where we bring our friends together outside of the rave. And, you know, we catch up and we're like, hey, how was that last show you went to? How are your kids? You know, how's that one surgery you had? And you sit around and you just make friendship bracelets for people you haven't even met yet. Like the idea that, like, you know, at some point in the future, you're going to have a good moment with somebody just because you sat around and thought about them before you knew them. I think it's very poetic.
Yeah.
And you've made some insane ones for our friends too. Like, you know, for Claire, you made Calcifer for her birthday, which was like the whole like flame from
I remember that. Yeah.
You know, the Miyazaki movie with it. And I literally copied the pattern of the chain off of that to make the Ganja White Knight Magic Frog Perler, because I was like, Drew, this chain is insane, bro. Like, it's classy.
It's definitely one of those things like where, you know, creative, the only thing that can stop you is your imagination. And, you know, and definitely there's a lot of good times where like you give someone, say, a perler or even a singular candy. Sometimes those moments can be very impactful.
You also dressed as Jesus for day one of Decadence, and we got pictures together to prove it.
I thought like doing the whole Jesus thing was at first like kind of cliche, because in the beginning it's like it was everywhere. At every festival there's always somebody's
one Jesus.
At least one Jesus. And I noticed like the past couple of Decadence, there was not a single one I saw, and I had a blast.
Amazing.
The amount of people that would come up to me and just like, oh Jesus, like, oh please forgive me what I've done. I'm like, and you know, people are very, very friendly, as of course, but little trick with or little hint for anyone that is wanting to dress as Jesus, keep in mind that you are going to get stopped a lot. So if you if you are with a group, you better make sure they keep an eye on you. And it's not like you're doing it intentionally. I mean, me, I'm a side quester. I will literally talk to you and then boom, I'm gone. But as Jesus, people are going to call out, Jesus Christ. And, you know,
they
like,
want the blessing, they got to confess their sins.
Yeah, they got to do all this stuff so they can redo them at Decadence.
Yeah.
You know, it was a lot of fun. I mean, you know, a lot of people are like, oh, can I get blessed by Jesus? Or hold their head and, you know, give them the holy, you know, scripture of PLUR and whatnot. But it's definitely a lot of fun. Just keep that in mind for anyone that wants to dress as Jesus. There is a responsibility that comes with it.
It's not lost on me either that you're a ranger. And so, you know, you could be wandering through the crowd and then see somebody go down and, like, whether it's administering Narcan or carrying, like, throwing them over your shoulder and taking them back to the tent. And they're like, I was saved by Jesus at the rave, right? Like, this is bound to have an impact on somebody who gets saved by Jesus.
What would you say, like, for Decadence for you? What do you think would probably top it off? Like, make it better next year, as opposed to what happened this year and the years prior?
Well, you know, getting my media pass this year was such like a moment. It was a turning point for Ready VIP to really have stepped into like a bigger arena to do more and like offer more to the community. But I put out a list of people I would have liked to interview, artists that I would have liked to talk to, and I got turned down for all of them. Now, I did see some of my favorite, local artists like JMaw5 and Deathbeat, which I took pictures with them, got to see their sets, super excited. But one day, I want to interview Grizz. I want to interview Subtronics. I want to interview Level Up. I want to interview Cascade. And I want to ask them all the same questions. I want to, what was your favorite song? What were your player moments, right?
Yeah.
And just get to nerd out with them. And so next year, maybe this video will have aged very well or very poorly. We'll find out. I would like to recap again and be like, Drew, remember that question you asked me? And we closed the episode out on it. What would make next year's Decadence better? We did it, buddy. As always, stay ready, VIPs.